Hello, everyone. Harry here. Happy Easter. Happy April Fool's Day. Wanted to talk about the reports that Donald Trump is preparing an additional motion to recuse Judge Juan from the trial where jury selection is scheduled to begin in 2 short weeks from today. All right. So first, the purported motion to recuse. It's based on the same thing that has led him into this complete, underbelly, gutter, nasty series of terrible attacks on the judge and his daughter. His daughter has the first thing that he tried to say, Trump, that she tweeted from an account that had a picture of him behind bars. Little ironic given what he did over the weekend with Biden, but we'll get to that in another tape. Made her prejudiced. Turns out that she has nothing to do with that. But she does work for a firm that has been involved in raising money for efforts that are fairly categorized as anti-Trump. So he'll use that, the fact that, his daughter's involved, to try to recuse Judge Merchan. Now, they've already previously, when he made the motion, Merchan solicited and got an opinion from the ethics authorities that are, every court has a sort of, little enclave of folks like that said there's no issue here. There's no reasonable way in which his daughter's professional, duties somehow create an appearance of impropriety or somehow make it improper for him to sit. And we haven't seen the motion yet, but it's been reported in the offing, and it seems to be just basically a copycat motion with nothing really new. And that being so, I think we can take it as a last-minute maneuver. We might call it a desperate maneuver to do anything to forestall this real criminal trial, first ever against a former president, coming down on him like a freight train. The question it provokes in my mind. So first, the motion to recuse really shouldn't get out of the box because there's nothing new. He has an ethics opinion, etc. Trump will hope that somehow it maybe create an issue on appeal, but that's on appeal, and after he couldn't bring it immediately. He'd have to wait till the trial. But the question that it provokes is what else is up his sleeve? What are the maneuvers that desperate and brazen defendants pull to try to get out of a trial that's imminent? Because as a well-known defense lawyer has put it, a continuance is almost as good as an acquittal. So let's keep our, eyes on a few possibilities. One, Trump may try to fire his counsel. His counsel is, he's a few different ones. Todd Blanche, who performed very poorly at the last hearing where Judge Merchan boxed his ears, mainly because Blanche tried to basically please his impossible client by making all these absolutely made up out of whole cloth, unwarranted accusations of misconduct against the DA, and the judge was having none of it. But that's a maneuver you see people doing. They fire their counsel. You can't force them to have counsel if they don't want them. But then they say, my new lawyer needs time to prepare. Now, a seasoned judge like Juan Merchan, has dealt with this before. First of all, you can fire counsel, but basically counsel, it's a funny thing. I've done some criminal work. You're in there until the judge says you're out. So there, it's not definitive that he can just make someone sort of go away, though he can, stop paying him and say he doesn't represent me and the like. But the bigger point is, in last minute gambits like this, a judge might well say, "You've got other lawyers there; they're competent. April 15th, let's go." And at that point, he might have lost the ability to use Blanche, who's not bad. He's a pretty good trial lawyer, and be stuck. Merchan could order to go forward with the other lawyers. Now, that would be an issue on appeal, perhaps. But courts of appeals are very familiar with these kinds of gambits by defendants, and they tend to be supportive of trial courts who are in very difficult positions when this happens. And I think if Merchan, plays it kind of tough and says, go forward, please, with the rest of your able staff, that won't be a reversible issue. But it's a gambit we could really see him trying to play. He could try a last-minute immunity motion or try somehow to hitch his train to the Supreme Court's immunity argument coming up April 25th. But, the case concerns conduct before he was president. It carries over a little. He signed some of the checks to Michael Cohen after. But, I think that under New York law, Merchan would have to permit him to, he could say this is just frivolous and I'm not going to give you a chance to take an interlocutory appeal. But that's something we could see. And again, he might try to frame issue on appeal for it. What else? Getting sick or a death in the family or whatever. Just, desperate maneuvers by desperate, brazen, unscrupulous defendants. That's who we have here, and the train is chugging down the train of accountability is chugging down the tracks. So we're gonna see some kind of maneuver. We're told, I don't know if this is true, the American people and Team Trump basically see this as a fairly, not the most grave offenses on his part, and that's true. Of course, it really speaks to the gravity of the other offenses. But supposedly, it really burns Trump to, it's just so tawdry, gross, and the like. That's how he's lived his life. But the reports are that he really loathes the evidence that's going to come in this trial and how it's going to make him look. And so even though, one strategy, the eventual strategy he may have to employ is to just sort of ride it out, I expect him to pull all kinds of whatever maneuver he can think of to get out of this, push it down the road. So motion to recuse may be coming soon, firing counsel, and just in general, keep our ear to the ground for kind of wild possible motions to get Merchan to cut him some more time. But given the landscape, given Merchan, given how long, what else is going on in the country, I wouldn't bet on his chances for any of these maneuvers and other crazy ones that are there. I once worked on a case, this is really quite a departure, but I once worked on a case where a defendant, to try to get a continuance, had secreted a razor blade in his clothes, and as court recessed, he went in front of the jury, slashed his wrists, blood went all over the jury, front page New York Post, and the judge said, "Sorry, no continuance." When judges are very hard nosed, some judges are. Merchan is one of them. When it comes to patent outrageous efforts to try to delay things, so I'll expect one or two or three between now and the 15th, but I'll expect Merchan to view them with great suspicion. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.